Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here with the Season 3 Reloaded update across Black Ops 7 and Warzone, we are of course going to see a new weapons update. Now, this is one that actually encompasses the entirety of Season 3 Reloaded, so from when the update actually drops here on the 30th, all the way out until the end of Season 3 here in early June, we're going to see a bunch of new weapons and new weapon updates drop. And today we've got the full details on everything to expect here for the next few weeks. So starting first, we've got some full-on new weapons becoming available here with Season 3 Reloaded. First up, we've got a brand new special weapon known as the Siren. This one's going to be very interesting to see play out, like if it's going to be remotely competitive at all, or if it's just going to be like a very gimmicky mess around, have fun with it style weapon. So this, like I said, is a special weapon. They say this is a charged energy weapon. It fires a high damage, slow moving projectile that passes through foes. You can charge it to improve the projectile velocity. They also describe it by saying it inflicts high damage on enemies with this special weapon that fires a slow moving projectile. Its velocity increasing as you charge the weapon before letting loose on your target. This weapon's effective damage range extends far out, allowing you to pummel foes up close or from a distance, though timing is crucial as the weapon rechambers between shots. In addition to the weapon's powerful prestige attachment, the weapon also includes two rear grip options, one focused on improved mobility and the other on improved handling. Now, that aforementioned prestige attachment is known as the deflection core, and this actually fires a faster moving projectile that's going to ricochet off of surfaces and enemies. That also includes more ammo. So this sounds like it's going to be a very high skill gap weapon, like you really have to time your projectiles here, but if you're able to do so, it also sounds like it could be insanely strong. So we'll have to see if this is something that's actually competitive like in Warzone. What's it going to do up against armor? Is the ricochet going to actually be easy to predict? What's going on with that? It's going to be interesting to mess around with, level up, and test out for sure. And then per usual, this does have a full-on new camo track you can get for leveling it up and prestiging it. You'll get some new camos that are fully available there. Next up for the actual new weapons, this one a little bit more standard. It's just a new melee weapon. It is the Katana. This is going to be an event reward, and also for what it's worth, the Siren will be an event reward as well. But with the Katana, I mean, this is very straightforward. It's just another melee weapon, so it's going to have one intended use there. It's got high damage, moderate range, and then a moderate attack speed. They say attack enemies up close with a combination of slashes and overhead attacks. Press the heavy attack button to hold the weapon up high, releasing at the perfect moment to inflict maximum damage. And then once more, the Katana is going to have a full-on camo track, so you can get some new camos through that. Of course, though, because it is a melee weapon, it does not have any kind of prestige attachment there, so you're only leveling it up for camos, of course. Now, beyond the actual two new weapons we're going to see throughout Season 3 Reloaded, we also have a handful of weapon attachments dropping, some new aftermarket parts. And there's quite a few fun ones dropping, throughout the rest of this season, some of which should, in theory, be very, very competitive in your meta loadouts. But bear in mind, as we are going through all the weapon update details here, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. It's always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to make sure you are always informed with everything going on in COD, there is no better place than right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Now, as for our new aftermarket parts dropping, these will all basically be weekly challenge rewards for the rest of the season, so we'll see them drop on a week-to-week basis here. First up, the MK78 light frame PDW conversion. This is a new stock attachment for the MK78, which of course is a slow, heavy LMG. It's the best long-range gun in the game, but it's a slow, bulky gun. This is the inverse. This is a drastic weight reduction that allows for more mobile and aggressive usage while retaining much of the power at the expense of added recoil and some reduced range. So this is basically the MK78 LMG being turned into an SMG. That's going to be really, really fun to mess around with, and I'm hoping it actually can compete in an already insanely competitive SMG meta. Next up, I'm also very much so looking forward to this one. We've got the Warden 308 Badlands kit. This is going to be a comb attachment for the Warden 308 that turns it into essentially a revolver. They say this is a heavy pistol configuration that sacrifices some control and some range for improved handling and mobility with strong firepower at close range. Now, this pistol kit does support akimbo, so you can have the akimbo revolver set up if you want. It also gives you 3 new barrel options, including the 10-inch spiral barrel, extended barrel for better range and control, the snub nose barrel, which is a lightweight barrel for improved handling. It also removes the pre-fire delay for a faster fire rate, but it does hurt the damage range. Then there's also the 8-inch barrel, extends the one-hit kill potential to the neck and upper torso at max range, increases the headshot multiplier to allow one-shot eliminations at longer ranges, but it hurts the handling and the control. So it can almost be like a shotgun hybrid at the same time. I think this one's going to be very fun, and I'm really curious to see if this can have any kind of impact in Warzone. I definitely think it's going to be good in multiplayer. Then after that, we've got the Carbon 57 Fabricator magazine. This is going to be a magazine attachment for the Carbon. I know, huge surprise. Pretty self-explanatory, but also very cool. A state-of-the-art magazine that automatically replenishes its own ammo by fabricating additional rounds as soon as you stop firing. So if you spray 35 bullets into the enemies, you stop firing as you're rotating, your ammo is going to automatically refill there. You don't have to stop and do a reload animation. This could be really, really beneficial and could be really advantageous if it doesn't adjust the damage properties. That's going to be the main thing to look out for here. They don't mention anything like it doing that, whereas they mentioned the cons with some of the others. So if this keeps the same damage profile, this could be a really, really strong aftermarket part. And then lastly, for the aftermarket parts, we also have the Raiden 45K Apex Sweeper Rig, which is going to be a fire mod for the Raiden 45K. These rounds break apart in flight, dealing damage with each piece that connects, converts the weapon into semi-auto. So it's going to be shooting 2 bullets at a time that go out in a V shape. There was an aftermarket part not too long ago that also did something very similar to this. I forget what gun it was for, but we've seen something similar to this before. It's going to be that dual shot semi-auto SMG. I don't think this one will be very competitive. Like, you have to be barrel stuffing the enemies basically so that the bullets spread when they're going out in that V format doesn't actually miss. So you can't use it at mid to long range, but it could be kind of good in the close range depending on just how far away you are and how crazy this spread is. So we really got to keep an eye on all these. I think a lot of these new weapon updates are going to be pretty fun. Obviously, outside of the new content, Season 3 Reloaded will include full-on patch notes and weapon balancing. We currently don't have the full details on what will be happening with that. Obviously, we're going to have the patch notes later on this week, so stay tuned. We'll be covering those in full. But just outright, I would probably expect a little bit more balance to the long-range meta, specifically with the MK35 ISR. They did just nerf it a few days back, and it's still easily the #1 rifle, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that caught a slightly larger nerf there. Hopefully not something that's going to nerf it into the ground. Beyond that, I'm going to be really curious to see how they balance the meta for Season 3 Reloaded, because as I mentioned earlier, the SMG meta is insanely competitive. There's like legitimately 5 subs that you could argue are the best SMG. The general rifle meta for sniper support and some of the long range is pretty strong right now too, with the MK35 kind of being the outlier. So I'm really interested in seeing if they just do a surprise, hey, we're pushing this weapon to be the new meta, and they give something an insane buff just to spice things up a little bit, as not much has changed there for the long range. But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. That is effectively everything we currently know about the major weapons update coming here with Season 3 Reloaded. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe on your way out to guarantee you are always informed with everything going on in Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.